Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. It's a brand new week. I thought I'd start the week by doing the next 4 stages of the Hachette Partworks release and build the U96 U-Boat. Four stages today, and as you can see I've got the U-Boat here. I think we've done most of the difficult bits now. All the compartments are in, it's all the fiddly stuff and a lot more of the fuselage that we're going to be doing today. So I think this is still available, so I have put a link in the video description. You do have the QR code there on the screen as well, but without further ado, let's get cracking. So we're going to start with stage 109 and we're going to be doing the aft diving plane. Now it's getting to the point where even though I've got a massive desk here, I'm not going to be able to fit this on, so I'm going to have to sort of straddle between 2 desks so I can get to where the propellers are here, because that's the part that I'm going to be using on. But some of this is quite fiddly in here. As you see, we've got some metal rods, screws, and I do need to make sure that everything is coming out of the bags here. So the first part we need is this whole section here. I believe this came in stage 98, but what I need to do is kind of straddle the U-Boat over here, because it's this area, oops, let's put that down, that I'm interested in. Oh, this is difficult. Okay, so I've got some CP screws here, which I'm just going to open up. This came in this stage. So if you have a look at this, we've got this slot at the bottom here. So when I put this in, it's going to go in this way, but I want to make sure that this is actually pinned into the slot at the bottom as well. So that's in the slot. And then I'm guiding this round so that I can put this into place here. And as you can see, I've just had one of my propellers fall off on this side, so I'm going to have to glue that back in. And then CP screws to hold this into place. So that's all in place. Just going to turn this over gently now, so you can see how that's attached in there. And I've got 3 parts to put into place. First off, I've got this pin here, which is going to go into the hole just at the back like that. Now I am holding that in with my finger for a second, just while I put this diving plane into place. So this goes into the square hole at the end here. It's quite a tight fit, and that's going to stop that rod now falling out. So that's just in there loose at the moment. And then I've got this piece here, which is going to be going in, which goes at the side of the shaft here and then onto that part of the propeller just there. So I need to glue this end into that, but we don't glue the pegged end here because obviously we want to keep that so it's able to move like this. That looks good. That's in place. Now, I've got this lever here, which is going to be having this hook for it. And the hook is going through that way. I'm going to turn this over so we can now see this side. And I'm going to be putting this in here like this, through this side. Just realised I had the pin round the wrong way then. So I'll just put that in. Now I'm just going to put all of this back into place. Now I want to make sure that this is available to be seen from this side over here, which it is, because I'm going to be putting the other side of the whole section on now, ensuring that the other side of the rod is actually going to be going into this side here. At the same time, I need to ensure that this goes into the slot again of this piece. So that's in like that. I think I'm actually going to put these parts on afterwards because they just keep falling out at the moment. I'm going to gently put a screw in here just to hold that in place, so then I can put the end of this propeller in to the slot at the bottom here. Just like that. Oh, that was hard. Let's get that other CP screw in. You can ensure you're using the right ones here, because the ones with the little teeth at the bottom here is the one that's going on this side. The other one is just flat, so that goes on the other side. So as you can see, make sure this is lined up correctly so that that can go into place like that. That was actually very fiddly. Okay, just going to do the other side. So once again, I get to put this in, make sure it's in line with the other one on the other side there. That looks good. And then just put some glue into the cavity here. All I've got left then, be best on the top camera if I just zoom this in a bit, is we've got these shaft brackets to put on. Now one side of this, if I just put this in here, is going to go into the top, one side's going to go into the bottom here on each side. This is what they look like. I need to make sure it's round the right way. So just looking at this, I'm guessing this one's going to go in this way. I'm just going to do a test fit. Yep, that's going to go in there like that. So let's glue this into place. Perfect. So that's in just like that there. And do the same on the other side. And when they're both done, that's how it should look. Looks pretty cool. I like that. Okay, this is the servo we're going to be putting in, and that's actually going to be going in here just like this. But what I am going to need to do is just hook into the end here, the lever that we put on here. There you go, so that's on there. And then I can just lie this down to where it goes into position here, like that. Excellent. Once again, I'm securing this in with 2 CP screws. Perfect, and that is in place. All I'm going to do then, if I move this up, is the cable from that I'm just going to be routing behind all of these brackets here, so that this isn't going to impede when I put the side walls for this into place. But with that done, that was quite an involved stage. That's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 110, we've got another hull panel now. Next 2 stages should be quite quick because there isn't really much to do. In fact, all we are going to do on this is we're going to be taking this metal section just here, lining this up and holding it in with one of these EM screws. So we do want it to be round so the countersunk side is facing upwards here. And there you go. If I just bring over the U-boat again here, this will actually be fitting into this place just here. So when I put this in, that's how that's going to go in there. But that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 111, as you can see, another big piece here because we've got another whole section piece. Exactly pretty much like we did in the previous stage. And there's no point in opening those screws. I've still got one of the screws from the previous stage. But once again, I'm going to be putting this into place on here, making sure that the countersunk side again is facing up. And get this screwed in. Bring over the U-boat again. And it's pretty easy to see where this is going to go. It's going to go right next to the one we just put in. Just into here like this. So it's nice and smooth on there. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So in the last stage of this pack, we've got the port tail section here that we're going to be assembling. Just a couple of pieces here. And the first thing I want to do is I want to take this tail section. I'm going to be putting a bracket into place, which is just going to go over that bit just there. That's going to be held in with 2 FM screws. These are the silver screws here, which are going into the metal. So one there. And one there. I've got a bracket here, which is going to go on the other side, just onto these points there. And again, it's the silver screws. So one there. And one here. I'm then going to be taking the shaft of this rudder here, which is going to go through this side, just like that. And then on the other side here, you'll see I've got a gear. It says pay attention to the correct orientation of the gear. Now I'm guessing it needs to be that way around, because the pictures don't really help. But we do have one of these flange screws here. This is the black flange screws we got in this. And that's just going to hold that gear into place here. Perfect. And with that in place, that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So, we have done a fair bit. As you can see, we've done this back section here. And obviously we've put the panels in just there. Can I just lie this down here without it falling over? I can. Getting heavy, it's getting big. That was really fiddly. I mean, that first section, the total recording time is 50 minutes. That first section took me half an hour. The rest I just breezed through. But it is coming together, looking pretty good. I am going to have to make some adjustments on this because obviously I broke off the periscope in this part here. I'm going to actually fabricate something so it's going to look better than the original. Other than that, perhaps a little bit of weathering on the inside as well, but it is looking good. I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.